how to choose your career. And Mark, as you know, that in today's world, there are so much career varieties which students have to choose from, right? I mean, there are so much different level of courses, and with more varieties, obviously there is more confusion as to what to go for, right? And nowadays I must say that there are students, and who are wonderful at almost everything, right? They play sports, they are good at studies, they are good at dancing, they are good at some extracurricular activities. So it becomes a great confusion for them as well to actually choose their career and plan their career in a particular direction. So do you have any guidance for them?
Absolutely. And in chapter 1 of the Career Toolkit, I go through how you can create a career plan and execute on it. But here's some of the key points. What you're going to want to do is first think not about, okay, I want to be a software developer or an accountant, and think broadly. Obviously, you might have a certain inclination towards one area. I knew I was interested in computers. But within the field as a whole, there's a number of paths you can take. Let's take computer science, as that might be your major in school. Do you want to be a software developer? Do you love coding? Do you want to do architecture and it might be a little more higher level and you're not doing as much coding? Do you want to go into project management? Do you want to go into infrastructure, into data science? Do you want to be more on the product side? Do you want to be a field engineer where you're going to perhaps different clients? Do you want to move into management? And there's no one right answer. What you want to do is to talk to lots of different people. Some of them should be in your field, but even talk to people in different fields. Ask them about their jobs, ask them about their careers, and tell me, what do you do? If you say, oh, I'm a programmer, I write code. Okay, great, I get that. I kind of knew that ahead of time. But tell me really, what's your day-to-day like? Do you spend lots of times in meetings? Do you spend a lot of time by yourself or working with other people? Do you spend a lot of time traveling? Because if you hear a field engineer, that person might say 4 or 5 days a week, I am on the client site working on something. Or a
Right.
sales engineer might say, it's really interesting because multiple times a week, I am working on a totally new client out of the blue, and they're very short MVP kind of quick things. So I'm not really building complex products, but it's really interesting because it's always a different client with a different need. And so you might hear that and say, wow, that sounds great that every week I'm working on something different. That's appealing. Or you might hear, oh, you kind of do like quick and dirty MVPs and you're not really building something robust and scalable. Well, that's not so interesting. So as you talk to people, don't just say, well, I like that job or I don't. Hear what are the components of the job? Lots of meetings, lots of travel, lots of interaction with others, what there's a lot of or little of, and ask yourself, does that appeal or not appeal to me? And then you can start to say, you know what, I like spreadsheets and I like the idea of going to different client sites. So I wonder if there's a job where I could be on different client sites every week and working with spreadsheets. Oh, well, that sounds like it could be maybe an auditor who's going out and doing, so auditors spend a lot of time in spreadsheets and they're constantly on client sites. Or you might hear, well, auditors, they tend to spend 6 months doing these deep audits. That's not as exciting. Is there some different version? And maybe you're a financial consultant. So think about the components of the job and not simply the title of the job. And that's going to help send you in a direction. If you don't know where to go, of course, once you say, I want a job that does these 3 things, start asking people, do you